evening, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. This is JAIIB CAIIB English Medium, which we are looking at right now, everyone. I hope I am audible as well as clearly visible. And this is our session for controlling. If I am audible as well as clearly visible, please let me know, everyone. And okay, it's all sorted. Let's begin with the session, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a very important area, which is called controlling. Okay, everyone, I hope you already know yet, but just letting you know further, the classes for these areas are also available on our app as well. You can definitely look into our app as well for additional data for all the PDFs of these classes and everything else. We are also providing free content there as well, so you can definitely go ahead and check it out. And at the same time, if you look at our courses, then all the courses are, I think there's another batch which is coming from 3rd of September, so this is the perfect time. Please go ahead and check it out on our website, on our app right away, so that you get the maximum benefits. If you're looking forward towards those maximum benefits, then just don't delay, just go ahead and check it out on our website or in our app for further details. Acha, everyone, today I'm going to talk about controlling. So what do you mean by the term controlling overall? Controlling can be defined as something which is related to the area of see, I decided I made a plan. Cool. Once you make a plan, you look forward towards its execution. But do you think just thinking about execution can really help us? Okay. This is one particular area which you'll find in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. This is basically the holy book of Sikhs there. It says that soche sochna hove je sochi lakhwar. That means if you keep on thinking about something, then how will it happen? It won't happen if you keep on just thinking about it. So one part is planning. Of course, in planning, we think about something n number of times. But what do we do further is gonna determine whether that particular thing is gonna be completed or not. That particular part leads to controlling. See, if I said that I'm gonna do this particular topic today itself, am I putting an extra effort to finish it today? If I'm not putting an extra effort, it won't end today. That means just planning will not happen. But just with this planning and all the resources that I have right now, they are not enough. What I further need is a stronger execution. With a stronger execution, there's one particular part which I need. That is, if I'm going through that particular thing, then if something is not falling as per the plan, the execution is not complete, then correct it. That correction is a part of controlling. So let's talk about it in detail, everyone. I hope we can learn a lot from this particular topic in our practical life as well. Controlling is the most important functions of management. It involves. What does it include, everyone? Let's talk about that part. Acha. It says it involves setting standards. You set up the standards. You measure the performance. Measuring the performance means, how do we measure the performance, everyone? Measuring the performance means you look at what you thought and what you have got. I thought I would finish the particular topic by today. Am I able to finish it by today? That's the point. Then taking corrective action. See, if there's a plan and things are not falling as per plan, if I just surrender ki theek hai na, if things are not falling as per plan, it's cool. This is where things will fall apart. I have to take the corrective action and find out why things are not as per the plan. Why is there a requirement of controlling? The deviations are justified or not justified. That's another level of challenge that one faces. So this is a process in which organization that wants to be successful, this is very essential and very important. Right, okay. Then comes controlling process. This is the entire process in which we look at the particular thing. See, first part is you always look at setting the performance standards. Setting up the performance standards means you take up that particular level that you want. That is your standards. Okay, so that standard is one particular part. Next part is, okay, everyone, if I look at the controlling in a simplest manner now, do you know simplest manner controlling can be stated as something where, okay, controlling simply means what we thought and what we have got. Now, what does that mean? In Hindi, we normally say, socha tha kya aur kya ho gaya. Why am I saying this? Because deviations is the key point for controlling. Okay, what does it mean? What are the simplest form of processes? First of all, you set up a standard, then you measure your actual. ठीक है? You have set up the standards, then you measure the actual, then you compare. You compare your standard with actual, then you find deviations, and last and the most important is your corrective action. Just knowing that we could not finish the particular task or we could not reach the particular goal is not important. Admitting that part is not very important, but you have to take the corrective action as well. Now, if I say, okay, we could not finish up that particular goal, but what next? If I'm not getting a solution out of it, then it's just of no use. So when we talk about this specific area, it is super duper important that whenever we are dealing with these areas, we make sure that corrective action is also taken. Okay? So that's particular area which we talk about in this specific area altogether. Controlling is a process where we look at what we have thought in terms of our standards and what we have actually got, and then we compare them and find out all the deviations which are there. There can be positive deviations, it can be negative deviations as well. For example, I was thinking to complete only a few set of questions, but I finished more than that. That means that is because I am able to reach, or I think I'm able to achieve my goal and also go further for it. That is a stronger deviation. It's a good favorable situation of a deviation. That is what we look at in terms of controlling. Okay, so that's what particular area of controlling as a function talks about. Acha, everyone, just let me know if it is clearly audible, if I'm clearly audible, and this particular class is also visible. All the theoretical part is just to give you as a reference there. Otherwise, just understanding the context of it is absolutely important. Okay, because in the examination they give weird questions right now, and to understand those questions, you definitely need to understand the concept of it, or I would say the gist of it. Chaliye, then let's look at it further. Okay, now comes the next topic. What do we have in the next topic? After the process, we are looking at analyzing deviations. What do you mean by deviations? Deviations mean anything which is not as per our requirement, or as not as per our plan. If my plan was to finish off that particular thing within a stipulated period of time and it got delayed, that means why is there a delay? Is it a justified delay or a non-justified delay? If it's a justified delay, then I should not be punished. Rather, I should be commended कि चलो, even after all those external problems, we are still able to do it. And when we talk about negative delays can be a problematic situation, because that means the reason was the person, and that person needs to take corrective action for that, right? Or he should be at least held responsible. And next part is that once analyzing the deviations is done, first three were done. These are 1, 2, 3. This is number 4 in terms of the processes, and this is the last one, which is called taking corrective action. Again, just accepting there's a problem is not going to help us. It's going to help only and only when we take corrective action. Wherever we have fallen apart, wherever we are not able to achieve the goals, we admit to that part and we make the things correct. That means we make sure that things are done in a proper manner, right? Chaliye, then let's look at this particular area altogether and understand the next part. Everybody, what's the next part to look forward to? That is called types of control. Controls are of many types. Matlab, if I look at the entire broader perspective of controlling can be said control management overall is basically the management. Managing means you're actually trying to take a hold of everything that is happening around in terms of controlling. Acha, what do we do in this case, everyone? When we talk about control management can be feedback control. First is feedback control. Feedback control can be said as a feedback control is basically, I asked you, is there a problem? You said, yeah, there's a problem. I said, acha, then give me a solution for it. Then you gave me a solution for it, and then I continued and looked forward to that particular problem, and then I looked for the solution and gave you the work as well, as per your requirement. Feedback is basically after the completion of the work. There's a thought process of other person, and he states that this is good and this is not good. That is called feedback. There is proactive control. As soon as you see the other person is having a problem, you change the way of working. This is called proactive. Matlab being not only active but active before the person acts. Then is controlling. Sorry, that is called concurrent control. Concurrent control matlab while the thing is being served, at that point of time you found, acha, this particular person is having a problem. This is the time when I need to mend my ways. It's time that I look forward towards a concurrent control. Matlab real time. While doing the particular thing, you take a corrective action rather than just having a corrective action after the time is over and then you are doing something. That is something which they clearly say that you should not be doing. Right? Okay, now let's look at the particular area of understanding what are the various control techniques. Control techniques are of two types. The one is called traditional techniques, the other one is called modern techniques. What's the difference between the two? When we talk about the traditional techniques, these are the techniques which were oldie goldie, I would say in this case. That is basically something which has been going on in for years, and they are very clear about it. They are like, okay, if we have a particular technique, then what are we going to do? We are going to follow that particular technique that is based upon hit and trial, which were done by the ancestors, I would say. Because these controlling techniques are not only something which is used now, it has been used even in the slavery period, it was used even before independence, even, and even when there was a kingdom time. So this is not something very new for us. So let's look at this particular area all together, everyone, and understand this part. Traditional techniques, the first point in this area is personal observation. Personal observation means when you're doing something, till the time I don't look at it, how can I say you're doing it properly or you're not doing it properly? That means one particular thing is having personal observation. So this has to be very clear that the observation should be done by having a physical presence. Like everyone, when we talk about our classes there, the organization might be somewhere else. If at this point of time, power of social media, power of in internet and everything else, people are now able to work from their houses as well. Work from home is also available. How are they keeping an eye whether the person is actually online or offline? By looking at whether the person is logged in or not, whether they're in the class or not. That is personal observation. You keep an eye on the person. Okay? So, and everything, see, if someone is looking at you now, you will always be more presentable. When nobody is paying attention to you, what will happen? You will feel bad. Acha, theek hai, nobody's looking at me, nobody's trying to understand me, nobody's looking at me, so I think I can be less stressed. Theek hai. Nobody's looking at me, nobody's noticing what am I doing in terms of my work. I can actually chill around. I will work when there's someone looking at me. When my boss is always asking me, Niharika, what are you doing? How much work are you done with? Then I'll be baffled. Ki, Arey, he's looking at me. I think it's time I need to work. So this is psychological, na. You dress up because you want you when you go out. That means you know people will look at you. That is personal observation. Then statistical reports. Statistical reports is mean, median, mode. You must have done it in ABM. There you look at the statistical part of something and then you try to find out whether you are deviating from it or not. Then comes break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is basically a point where you are at no profit, no loss. What do you mean by no profit, no loss? Let's understand this part. Break-even point. Break-even point is basically situation. Everyone, just look at this particular pointer. There it is. The break-even point can be shown in our graph point, in our graph there. See, everybody, when we have costs, you must have seen there are two kinds of costs, variable cost and fixed cost. I have to pay the rent no matter how much I've earned. So that means this particular rent is gonna go definitely. Okay, this is a fixed cost. And variable cost is the cost which starts incurring only when I'm producing. For example, the production has started. So of course, when we start the production, then electricity cost, water cost, salaries of people, everything is gonna affect me. So that means these are variable costs. Combined, both these costs will start from here. This is called our total cost. Okay. Once you have got your total cost, it doesn't start from zero because of the presence of fixed cost. So this is my fixed cost. Now the question arises, if you know about your total cost, sorry, this is your total cost. If this is your cost, you start earning after a certain period of time. Now this is your earning. Once you start earning, In the beginning, you will have no earnings. From zero, you start earning more than the cost. There was a time when your cost was not even covered. This is the area of loss. And this is the area when your income is more than your cost. That is where you start earning. This is the area of revenue is more than cost, and this is called the profit margin. There is a situation in between when you are no longer making losses, when you are not having profits as well. If you put 100 rupees into this particular area, you are getting rupees 100. This is a no profit, no loss situation. This is called no profit, no loss. No profit, no loss can be dealt with in terms of break-even point. So break-even point is a situation after this, beyond this, we have a positive amount that we are having. In terms of the break-even point, there's a specific formula. You take up your fixed cost and divide it by your selling price minus only the variable cost. If you remove only and only the variable cost, it is called contribution. So this is actually called sales fixed cost divided by contribution. That's how we define the particular area. The break-even point is the point at which the total revenue equals total cost. Where if you put 100 rupees, you're getting back that 100 rupees. So that's what everybody looks forward to. At least we get what we have put into the business now. If you're not able, if we are not even having our returns back, that means we're in a challenging situation. This is not good for any organization if you're not able to even recover the funds that you have invested in the particular area altogether. This means after a certain period of time your business is doomed to die, because if you are not making earnings enough, that means you are right now using your savings, and if your savings gets exhausted, that game is over. That's why when we talk about this area, this is not good for any organization if we are below the break even point, because losses will ultimately lead to depreciation of your savings, and beyond the particular level of eradication of savings, you will have no money left. Then we have budgetary control. Cry in front of everybody that we do not have money and put a limit on the money on your own. That is where budgetary control stands. Standard costing is basically set up standards, and if they are not able to reach the standards, tell them about the deviations and tell them with the proof that this was the standard that we created and you are not able to achieve the standards in a proper manner. Right? Done? Chaliye then. Let's move on and talk about the next part. That is called internal audit. Internal audit is basically the audit which is done not by outsiders but by insiders. The company will basically employ a few people who will take care of the business, and these people are responsible for our overall working. That means when we look at this particular area, you need to have certain people who will check within the organization, will look at the loopholes before any external party will come and condemn you. Then the next part is called return on investments. If I put 100 rupees, what am I getting back? If I'm not getting it back anything, that is bad for my business. Na? ROI, return on investment. Whatever investment I've made, what is the return I'm getting back out of it? This check helps you to have that part clearly ki whether I should continue with this business or is it not worth it. That is why we look forward to ROI. Then comes the area of modern techniques. What do you mean by modern techniques? There are certain techniques which are now based upon analysis which are deeper than the normal analysis. For example, the ratio analysis. This is where you are gonna compare your numbers with numbers based upon different items. Then we have certain things called responsibility accounting. Acha everyone, they set up centers. What do you mean by centers? They make responsibility centers. For example, you are given the responsibility of loss. How to minimize the loss, that is your responsibility. How to maximize the profit, I am given the profit center. There's someone who's taking care of the sales center, that is a revenue center. You have to, one has to increase the income. One has to take care of the investment center. Right? So this is called responsibility accounting, when you make up different centers or different responsibilities given to different set of people. Then comes the area of management audit. If you are going to do the audit of the organization regarding their finance, regarding their working, why not look at the management itself? The management should always be scared that they are also under check. So under check means they will definitely make sure that they are doing things properly, so that the chances of any kind of frauds by them also reduces. Then comes PERT and CPM. These are network diagrams. Network diagrams means you look at things by step-on-step basis. For example, from one you have two different steps coming from, and then after the fourth step, this will come back to a single step, that is fifth step, and this would end. These kind of network diagrams where there are particular steps and they are on the basis of a specific sequence, they are called network diagrams. Then part is management information system, MIS. The more quickly manager gets the information, more quickly he can respond, you know. If he gets the information after the disaster is over, then what's the fun? The disaster is over, and then he has to face what he has to face. Then that is called management information system. Last is zero based budgeting. Budget is good, but once after a certain period of time, whatever your previous assumptions were, they all fail. If I had a particular thought that he can, I think just like JIB, I think I can spend lesser time in my books for CIB as well and then clear it. That's wrong. The previous assumptions for this particular exam are not actually good. At this point of time, what they need to do is they need to have a zero base. Your previous assumptions are all wrong. Now you need to make new assumptions, new basics on which you will look forward towards your budgeting. The budgeting process now will be taken in a different manner, which is called zero base budgeting. No previous base will be taken. We will find the results on the basis of the new things that we are building up. That is why it is called zero base budgeting, or ZBB. These are new techniques and there are old techniques. All these techniques are super important. They can actually give you questions on the basis of MCQs, in which you will have to find which particular technique are they talking about. Match the following can also be given. Fill in the blanks can also be given on these definitions. Okay, we've talked about break-even point already. Break-even point is basically the tool which helps us to see if break-even point is being achieved. You can definitely have a price which is higher and you can make profit out of it. You know? Then comes production. Your production should be up to the level where you are having a break-even point at least. Why to face losses now? You should not be facing losses because of any random reason. Then comes marketing. Your marketing should be so strong that whatever money you are putting into the market, it is also coming back to you manyfold, so that you can keep on continuing putting the money and at the same time you are able to save for your future. So break even point leads to marketing as well. That's the particular area of break even point. So this is what we are done with already. Now comes the different types of budgets and details. Budgets can be of many times, starting from sales budget, which is based upon how many goods, how many units I can sell in one particular month or one particular year. It is yearly, quarterly, monthly. There can be budgeting in terms of anything. Then comes the production budget. Production budget means any budget where we are looking at the specific area of production. Is basically, see, if I thought that I think I can sell up to 1 lakh units this year, so I can see how much of it I have already produced and how much I need to produce. That is called production budget. Then comes capital budget. How much money I should put into the business for our working is called capital budget. The next part is cash budget. How much of cash is required by us to make sure. This is the last step. Cash budget is basically the last step. That means the budget which we need to understand how much money we have already invested and how much more money we have to put. That is called cash budget. Done. Then comes the next part, which is called project budget. This is based upon different projects. Right now in many areas they have got different projects. Matlab, instead of having one particular organization with one particular thing, they have said that every single organization has multiple projects which are being held by different project managers, and every project has to be reviewed that accordingly, right? Next part comes as a revenue budget. Revenue budget means the budget which is being uh, prepared, and we are looking at how much income are we going to generate in the upcoming years. That is why we look at the revenue budget. Then comes the expenditure budget. How much money are we going to spend in our business? That is called a revenue budget. The income that we are going to earn in our business is called revenue. You know, the income we expect to earn, and on this basis, how much money are we looking forward to in the business? That is called revenue budget. So these are the different types of budgets. Last is if you look at marketing budget. See, till the time you don't tell people you have made a particular product, why would they buy it? In order to make sure that they buy it, we need to put it on the table. We need to show them this is extra special, and there are a lot of things which are included in this particular budget. So when we talk about the budgeting techniques, this is one particular practical area, that is that budgets. If we look at them, budgets means we need to put a hold to the money that we are spending. It should not be overspent, and of course it should not be underspent as well when it is required to be spent. If we do not spend the money in the specific area altogether, this is going to make sure that we are not earning enough in the business. है ना? Just a moment. Done. So this is what we talk about in this specific area altogether, everyone. Just a moment, please. Okay, everyone. Chaliye. Now let's continue with the specific area. When we talk about the different kinds of budgets, this is how we cover the entire number of budgets. There are different types of budgets altogether. So budget is basically what? We are thinking in advance what to do with our money, how do we look forward towards that money, and what is the specific way we should, through which we should control our money spending, right? That is how we define the area of budgeting. Okay, so now we are done with the area. The last part that someone discusses return on investment. Return on investment is how much money I'm going to get back from my investing area. That means return on investment is a measure of profitability. Profitability means, am I able to generate good funds out of whatever I've invested, or I'm not able to get anything. ROI is a useful tool for evaluating the performance of different investments and making decisions about where to allocate resources. It helps you to basically look forward towards, if I am generating good funds, then invest it. If I'm not able to generate good funds, then there is no meaning to put this money into investment. Okay, here comes the first question, everyone. What is the primary purpose of controlling function in the management? Setting organizational goals, planning future strategies, measuring performance and taking corrective action, or motivating employees. When we are looking at controlling function altogether, controlling function can be stated as a way to look forward towards what we thought and what we have got. When we are looking at this particular area, we are actually doing the C part. That is, we are measuring the performance and also taking the corrective action. That is controlling. Done everyone? Acha everyone, if this particular session is helping you, then please go ahead and like the particular session. Share the session among your peers. This is super duper important for us that we share this particular session and we keep on looking forward towards this class. As the series has been started, that means in the upcoming future we're gonna definitely progress further and we're going to give the entire subject to you. So this is also available in offices adda 24/7 as well. That is this. Now we have just started with this English medium channel where we are putting up everything only and exclusively based upon the English medium area. Anyhow, let's look forward to this everyone. What do we have in this area? Which of the following is not a step in the controlling process? Setting performance standards, we set up the standards through it, we compare the actual, and we take corrective action. These three are definitely there. But when did I say to ignore the variances? Can we really ignore the variance, everyone? Variances are too difficult to handle if we are not looking at the specific area altogether in terms of our business. When we talk about variance, what do you mean by variance? Variance is basically a situation where we are having a deviation from our standards. Standard and our actual is not matching. So variance can be of two types. One is called favorable and one is called adverse. Okay, so please make sure that you understand the difference between the two as well. Sometimes if I thought I'll finish only one chapter in a day, I am finished one and a half. This is a positive situation. Even though there's a variance from the planning, but still in a better situation that I could have been in. So this is favorable, or if it is on the negative side, what I thought I'm getting lesser than that, that is called adverse. Done. This is called ignoring variances in performance. When a manager identifies a significant deviation between the actual and expected performance, what is the next step of controlling? See, they're giving the sequence of controlling process and they're asking you which particular step would be there after this. Isn't this a case study based question? Now the paper is more based upon these kind of indirect questions other than the direct questions. Okay, celebrating success, you can't celebrate your success in this case. If your actual and expected performance are varying, it should be on the positive side only, then you can celebrate, otherwise you cannot. Taking corrective action or setting up even higher performance standards. Higher performance standards will put more pressure on the people, which is not going to help anyone. So ignoring the deviation is just not, this is not solving the problem at all. This is actually accepting the fact that we are having more problems in future. These are two are wrong, so I think I'll go with the area of taking corrective action. If you find there's a problem, accept the problem and find the solution to it. That means you need to take corrective action. Then, what is the term to for predetermined performance expectations against which actual performance is compared? Again, everyone, when we talk about the specific area, we think about something and then we compare it with our actuals. Are those benchmarks or key performance indicators or performance standards or feedback? Feedback is what you give after the particular thing is completed. So this is eliminated. Key performance indicators are those things through which human body has some certain vitals which will determine whether I'm alive or not. That is heartbeat. Hai na? So if there's a heartbeat, that means I'm alive. That is a key performance indicator for a human body. For a business, it's their sales and profits. Those are very, very important areas which determine the health of the company, which indicates the health of the company actually. So in this case, the answer is performance standards. You set up standards and then you try to find out the result of it, and if we are varying, then we are not having a good situation. So that is performance standards, everyone. Okay, I hope this particular session was helpful for you. If it was, then please go ahead and check out our website right away. Okay, there it is, everyone. Let me show you where to go. You need to go onto our website, that is www.adda247.com. Go on to the area of JAIIB and CAIIB. CAIIB is a challenging examination starting from November this year. So I think November time, just after the festivities have ended, it's going to be a challenging part for you. Then why to wait to start with this particular area? Just start with this particular classes as early as possible. Look forward towards our 450 hours of live classes. Test series is available, ebooks are available. All these things are exclusively available for you. Make sure that you're getting the benefits out of it. How do we look forward to it? Click on the area of buy now, use the code Y use the code YA541 and apply it, and you will get it at 77% discount, 1% extra if you are having our app. So at 78% discount you will get this particular course. So go ahead and check it out on our website or in our app for further details. Go ahead and everyone make sure that you are getting the benefits out of it. It is super duper important that you enroll yourself in the courses right away, because once the particular batches are started, I think you will, September and October, just 2 months would be there. In November the examination is there with hardly a few weekends. I would say overall 12 to 15 days are there, including your Diwali holidays and other festivities holidays as well. So I don't think this would be enough. These are enough days to prepare for your CAIIB. So you need to prepare every single day, and with the consistency, if you feel you can maintain on your own, it is good. But if you feel you cannot maintain it, then go ahead and enroll yourself in our courses and join them right away. Thank you so much. Bye bye everyone. We'll be meeting in the next